Hello, everyone. Welcome to Made to Dream. I'm your host, Maya Chanel, and here we share stories from women around the world to inspire, encourage, and empower women and young girls to dream without limitations. Today, I have the ultimate pleasure of speaking with Miss Laneice McGee, and she's the co founder of Big, Beautiful, and Blessed. So I'm excited to hear so much more about her journey that she's been taking, and how she's helping women and herself along her journey now. So, hi, Laneice. How are you doing today?
Hi, Maya. Thank you. I'm doing fine, and I'm super excited to be on your podcast today to be able to talk to women and young girls who will listen. And also, I like to always remind myself as well that I am constantly on a journey, constantly growing, and so it's very beneficial to remind yourself you may not be where you want to be, but you definitely are on the road towards where you want to go. And so thank you again. I'm so inspired by you and just learning more about you and really how it just kind of lines up to some of the things and the passions that I have. So thank you so much.
No, thank you for being here. I'm excited and I love what you talked about, still growing, still developing into a different person every day. And I think even when we feel like we've reached success, we always are constantly growing, even in within that success. So I'm excited for this conversation. So go ahead and let the audience know a little bit more about you and what you do.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing me with your people and trusting me with that. So again, my name is Laneice McGee. You can find me on all platforms, Laneice Leads. And I say Laneice Leads because there are several different things that I lead, but they all align to the purpose that I feel like I am here for. And so one of
Mhm.
the things that I do is I am the co-founder of Big, Beautiful, and Blessed. And we connect women to their purpose through the fun thing of modeling, and so and just finding
Mhm.
that inner peace, that self-love, and we focus on plus size models of faith, and we go into different schools and things of that nature. And we started last year. We started our junior division. Now that's not based on
Mhm.
size; it's just based on age. Where we it's a 6 week program, and they go through modeling, and in that they learn about self love, self discovery, things like that. I am like big on self love. Every first Saturday, I do something called the self love journey, and just
Mhm.
talking loving yourself. Something I always
Mhm.
say is I had to love the woman that I am now as I'm
Mhm.
coming to becoming the woman that I want to be. And so
Yes.
so important just to love ourselves right where we are at. And so
Mhm.
that's why I felt really connected to you too as well, because you said you started your business when you were 16. That is so amazing to me.
Thank
Um,
you.
I have an organization called Future Entrepreneurs Moving Ahead. This year, due to COVID, I kind of put it on a hold, but plan on
Mhm.
starting back up next year. But we're in our fourth year, and I mentor youth who want to
Mhm.
start their own business. That's why I was just really connected to that. I was like, yes, because I remember being young and having all these skills and talents, but I didn't know what to do with it, and I didn't know that you
Mhm.
can make money from it and things of that nature. And I'm like, wow, this is a great opportunity to expose the youth to their creativity, and whether
Mhm.
they want to do it forever or not, it's not really about that. It's about skill building. And that also builds confidence in you and what you can do, and knowing that, wow, somebody will. I remember one of the kids was like, somebody's going to pay me to draw a picture. you know,
Yes. They
easy,
pay
right?
for anything.
Yes. And so that's just a little bit about me. I am the
Mhm.
district director for the Workforce Development Board, where we connect people to their career. So whatever I'm doing, I'm always trying to connect people to
Mhm.
to their purpose. And I always say that one thing doesn't define you, so don't let it confine you either, but it
Right.
help develop you. So that's
Mhm.
the great thing about it.
Right. I think it's just like going through life, building skills. And I love what you're doing because I talk about it all the time. Like, as youth, a lot of times we aren't afforded the ability to explore. We're only given like a short list of what success is, and we're all trying to strive for these jobs when we all can't do that. Everybody can't do the same thing. So I think that's really important. I love what you talked about, the modeling. I feel like every girl should be on a runway trying to model at some point in her life because it does instill so much confidence. I mean, I used to do it when I was younger, and it takes a lot of confidence. You have to really love yourself, believe in yourself, and know that you are all that walking down the runway. So,
And that's why
I,
we particularly focus on plus size models, because a lot of times there's been a lot of body shaming and things of that nature.
mhm,
And so what we do is we meet and we have little empowerment meetings along with the modeling, because it's not just really about that moment, it's about your
right.
life, right?
Mhm.
And then our thought was, what if we can get the young girls right away to start loving themselves, start having that
Yeah.
confidence? It is something about that modeling. It's fun, and it does take a
Yeah.
level of confidence. And we get a lot of people who've never done it ever.
Mhm.
And we have a calendar component too. So we have print models and we have runway models. And
Mhm.
but it's amazing to see people come in one way and then at the end leave and feel a different way. Like,
Mhm.
wow, I am beautiful. I am worth it. I am somebody to be looked at, you know?
Mhm.
And so I just love that. And I love the youth, and I love adults too, because sometimes as adults
Mhm.
we missed out on that opportunity.
Yeah.
But guess what? You didn't miss out. It might have been delayed, but it's here today.
Mhm. Right. Your journey is your own, your timing is your own, and you just have to live your life on your own timing and just follow your own path. So, I want to know a little bit more about you and how did you get started in all of the things that you're doing, just being able to be a motivation to others and inspiration and just give others that extra push that they may need.
Yeah, it's definitely been a journey. God has just recently blessed me to do a book called 7-Day Journey to Finding Your Purpose, God's
Mhm.
Vision, My Hands. And so
Mhm.
it's my hands that have led me to the journey, but it's been God's vision all along, even if I didn't
Right.
know it. If I didn't
Mhm.
know He was leading my life, I know it now. But He
Mhm.
definitely had His hands on my life. So everything that I'm doing came from serving someone else.
Mhm.
Um, with Big, Beautiful, and Blessed, I was at a inspirational event with a friend of mine,
Mhm.
and the speaker asked us to close our eyes and what would we do if we could do anything. And so my friend had never really been to motivate. I love that kind of stuff. So I was always going to that, and I invited her to come with me. She closed her eyes, and then when it was over, I said, "What did you think about?" And she said, I always wanted to be a model, but this guy told me I had a pretty face, but I was too fat. And so I would never do it. That just, and I could feel the hurt when she said it. And it was years ago, and she was still holding that. That
Yeah.
infuriated. I was like,
No,
what?
it's a lot. Like I talk about all the things on here as well. Like for women, there's so many rules and so many standards for us that we haven't even created for ourselves. It's other people reflecting their images on us and what should be the standard of beauty. So I think that, it's really important to just allow everyone wherever they are in their life, no matter, just to love yourself. No one can define
Yes.
what is beautiful.
Right. And so from that, that's so good. That is so true. Oh, we allow that. We allow the words of other people to become our truth, and we live that out,
Mhm.
you know? But
Yeah.
that's what was happening. And I seen that she was, that's long story short, I was like, well, what would you call it if you had something? She said, Big, Beautiful, and Blessed. Now, my friend is very shy, quiet, things of that nature, kind of opposite of me. And so, like, within 2, 3 weeks, I had a flyer design. I found a photographer, and I was like, we're doing a model call. We're about to start this business. And she was like, what? And so I'm telling you,
Sometimes it takes those opposites to one to come up with the idea and one to be that implementer. Like that's the way that
yes.
it works a lot of times.
And so now, 7 years strong, our first one sold out, packed, and she just couldn't believe it. And I said, you're a model. You are a
Mhm.
model. And I didn't even know in that moment, and I could really get emotional thinking about it, like all the lives
Mhm.
that we would touch,
Mhm.
because I did it out of, I didn't want my friend hurt. I didn't want her to live in that box. And then finding out that so many other women are living in that box.
Yeah.
So it's just been an amazing journey. I love it. With the youth entrepreneurship, I was volunteering at this event that was for adult entrepreneurs every year. And she had this vision of the youth doing the same thing, but she couldn't find the right organization.
Mhm.
And so this might have been her 7th or 8th year doing it. And I volunteered every year except for the first year.
Mhm.
And that's how dedicated I was to it. And I knew it was important to her. And I said, I had did her training for the adults. I
Mhm.
said, I think I could do it. And then I
Mhm.
told her, I said, I'm gonna do it. And so I
Mhm.
had like 4 months to come up with the money and everything. It was like a real short time.
Uh-huh.
I love it. And so everything that I'm
See,
kind of doing
that's
came
so
from
because
serving.
yeah, that's the thing though. It's like seeing what you do is like a gift that a lot of people don't have, the gift of implementation. A lot of people have great ideas but aren't able to see it through. And I feel
Mhm.
like that is a great gift to have.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, dedication, but I thank God for it again. He's just
Mhm.
using my hands, and I'm so grateful. And He can use all of us.
Mhm.
You may not be the implementer, but you may be the person who can create ideas. You may be the person who can. God has a purpose for all of us. We all have our role. We all have our lane, and we
Mhm.
all. It's enough room for all of us to shine. And to
Yeah,
do that, and to be happy.
we just have
You
to find
know.
our own lane.
Mhm. And
I
then
think that's
together,
the thing.
we're all on the same path, but in
Yeah,
our
I
own
think
way.
that's
You know what
the
I
thing.
mean?
Yeah, I think that's the
Mhm.
thing. It's like we, like said earlier, there's so many different standardizations. Like when we go through school, what do they tell you are the jobs for success?
Yeah, like a doctor, lawyer.
Mhm.
Of course,
They
you
don't,
see the
right,
teacher, so you want you like I see this, and especially if depending on where you were raised and things like that,
mhm,
that might be the only thing you see as
right,
success.
right. And that's the thing. It's like I've been able to interview like almost 70 women now, and every single one of
Ooh,
them have done
wait a minute,
something different.
we gotta celebrate that. That is amazing.
It's
Wow, thank you
amazing
for that.
because there's so many women out here who are overcoming different obstacles in our life. People telling us that we can't do this, we can't do that, we're not good enough for this, we're not pretty enough for this. And we're creating our own lane. And I think that is an applause in itself because as women, it is hard for us. People are constantly telling us what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, what
Mhm.
we should be wearing, what we should look like, our hair should be like. It's so much. And just to sit here and sit back and say, you know what, I'm going to do something for me instead of what everyone else is telling me I should be doing. I think that in
Yeah,
itself is just powerful. We have to recognize our own power.
yeah, and it takes courage too, and it takes time sometimes. Like sit down and really think, what is it that I want?
Hmm.
What's stopping me? And a lot of times it's us stopping our own self,
Right.
saying, thinking, believing the stories that have been told, and now we
Hmm.
can create our own narrative, and that's what
Right.
it's about. Create your own narrative, even if people might say you fail or whatever. Really, you learned. I didn't fail. Me failing would have been me going to the grave with this. Because I
Hmm.
didn't go to the grave with
Yes.
it, even if it didn't work out the way I've envisioned, I didn't fail.
Listen, I tell
I
people
moved
all the
forward.
time, if you want to create a
Heart.
magazine, create it. I don't care if you don't sell not one copy. You created that magazine and you accomplished something for yourself rather than someone else trying to determine your success.
Right, right. And then what is success? You determine that
Hmm.
as well. It might not be a
Hmm.
certain amount of money or whatever. To me, success, it can happen every day. It happens every day. I wake up and I try and I went
Right.
for it and I moved because sometimes it's hard, especially in the world we live with now with COVID and all this different stuff going on. Like, it's
Hmm.
a successful day that I got up, I'm
Hmm.
trying to figure this out. And so for
Right.
me today, I'm successful. And even if
Right.
I mess up tomorrow, because sometimes I have days where I just don't get it right.
Hmm.
The success in that is I see it and I can learn from it. So
Right.
every day is a success.
I think so. And I ask the question a lot on my podcast, how has your definition of success changed from before you begin to explore yourself and what it is that is your passion and your purpose to now? And a lot of times it's changed from something that maybe monetary valued to just being valued as in freedom with time, with money, and just freedom is overall what I've gotten from a lot of people. And it's like, it's crazy to see like people achieve, success with money and finances and they like leave all of that just to find freedom in their life and to do something that fulfills them and is their passion and their purpose. It's crazy. Like a lot of times, in life, that is not really an option for us necessarily.
Hmm. Yeah, and freedom in your mind. That's
Hmm.
the number one thing. If I have peace and I got
Yes.
freedom in my mind and I can go to sleep with the decision that I made, it's
Hmm.
nothing like that in the world. Like nothing. I always think of Oprah. Like Oprah was at the top of her game, and she
Yes.
left that to start. That is so like you can still be at the top of your game, and it doesn't mean that it stops. So
Right,
it's
and
just like
people called
another
her
pinnacle.
crazy for why is she starting a network? Now look at it. All these shows she has
Yes.
on it. She's even
Mm-hmm.
more successful than she was before. And it's some
Yeah.
people like they try to project their fears on you and make you
Mm-hmm.
scared into jumping out to what's unconventional. And I think that's
Yeah.
the first thing that we have to recognize is, you know what? A lot of people are going to come to you and try to project their fears on you. They're going to try to tell you, that's not going to work. Why would you want to do that? You just have to stand firm in your beliefs and know that you can make it work.
Yeah. And even if it doesn't, again, if it doesn't work, it worked because you tried,
Mhm.
and that's the most important thing because I think fear of the what ifs is what keep people from
Mhm.
doing. The fear
Yes.
of the not knowing is a barrier of doing. So it's just
Right.
like, no, you're not going to know the whole income, the
Mhm.
whole outcome. And even if I was trying to do the exact same thing you did, Maya, you know why
Mhm.
it would be different? Because I have had a different journey. So don't
Mhm.
even worry about like, well, I can't start a daycare because there's 20 daycares around, or I can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's not going to have your footprint on it because everybody has lived a different experience. So if
Mhm.
I have a different experience with something, I might be more passionate with, oh, I'm really going to do this. I don't know why I'm saying daycare. Maybe somebody is going to be listening that wants to open a daycare, but I will do this with the youth because of my passion. I never had a mentor, so I'm gonna implement mentorship in my child care. And somebody else might be doing something totally different where they want to explore the kids to traveling around the world or whatever
Yes.
because of your lived experience. So never stop something because somebody on the same block is doing what you're doing. You're not
Mhm.
stealing their idea. Nothing under the sun is completely new. We
Right.
just refine it and make it better, and you make your own.
Most definitely. So what would you
Yeah.
say are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned over your lifetime and over your journey that you've partaken in?
Whew. I think one of the best lessons that I ever learned was loving my own voice.
Mhm.
Like really being okay with that, and when I'm okay with that, I'm okay with me. And being
Mhm.
okay with that, I might not be everybody's cup of tea, but that's
Right.
okay. This is my live experience. I can respect you, you can respect me, but just trying. I mean, I can't stress enough like trying and being okay. I mean, I can go back to some I messed up, like even with Big Beautiful and Blessed, there's been times like it's a weight on your shoulder, and you have people looking for you to lead and to lead without blemish. But
Yeah.
guess what? I'm human, so there are blemishes. And
Mhm.
so I think the lesson learned in that is being human, and admitting, like, you know what, I didn't get it right, but I'm on here again. And I think people can respect that, even if they don't, even if you're not their cup of tea, who can't respect honesty and authenticity? And so just being your authentic self. I can cry. I wish I was me when
Mhm.
I was younger. You know what I mean? But all I can
Mhm.
do is honor that I'm there now. That's why the youth is so important to me. Like, be you, love you. Um, because there's so much freedom. Because the biggest freedom is in the walls of our mind.
Mhm.
Like, what am I
That
saying to
mindset is
myself?
powerful.
Wow, it is. And so, like, that is one of the most important lessons I think I've learned, even through the failures and everything. Nothing outweighs me living my truth.
Mhm.
Nothing at all. Like, not doing, like, when I really feel a certain way, not being peer pressured, like, to do it because maybe other people are doing it or whatever the situation may be. just really listening and trusting. That's we don't trust ourselves. Like you don't trust yourself.
Yes.
That's
I
really what
know
you're saying. You don't
as
trust
women, we
yourself.
all go through a process, I feel like, where we just do not trust ourselves. We question everything, all of our decisions, and it's like, why do we do that?
Yeah.
Why?
Even because again, I work in the workforce field too. Even when
Mhm.
it comes to applying for certain jobs, and this is statistic, it's the statistics out there. Males are more likely they will see a job and apply for it, even if they don't have every single qualification.
Yes.
Women are more likely to look at the list, check it off, and then if they don't feel they fit in it good enough, they won't even apply. So it's like
Mhm.
a mindset thing. It's so important. Like you're worth it. Apply. Like try. If you meet some of those qualifications, they might could train you for everything else.
Yes.
Put your hat in
They
the
train
ring.
you
You know.
they train you anyways, and I just had somebody mention that on I think it was like 2 or 3 podcasts ago. Someone mentioned the same statistics, and it's like, as women, why do we undervalue ourselves? Why do we self-doubt and, project such negative thoughts on ourselves and feel like we're not worthy, we're not good enough, we aren't powerful, when in reality, we've got everything we need.
Yeah.
We just need to notice it in ourselves.
Yeah. We won't even ask for whatever pay range that they offer. Women are less likely to try to negotiate. You know, it's just a
Mhm.
lot of things. But again, it goes down to our mindset and just really, if you get anything out of our conversation, I just want you to know that you're worthy. I want you to be reminded of how beautiful and how powerful you are. And I think that's, and just walking that truth, own it. If nobody else sees it, you see it. And that's if I see it, then I'm good. When I don't see it, it don't matter how many people tell me it, I won't believe it.
Mhm.
So that's why we have to see it, because then
Yeah.
we believe it and we walk. And it's not cocky. I'm
Mhm.
confident in who I am. I love who I am. I'm not arrogant because I don't see myself like, oh, I'm better than you. No, I see myself as I love me. And if you don't love me, if you don't love you, that bothers me. You know,
Mhm.
that's why I'm like, I want you to walk with a certain amount of confidence too, because you deserve it.
Yes. So if you had to say one thing to women and girls around the world to inspire them to dream without limitations, what would it be?
Whew, one thing. Oh my goodness.
Okay, if not
Don't
top three.
confine, don't confine yourself. Again, this is so important. And don't measure yourself based upon one success or one failure,
Mhm.
because sometimes we will think we have to live up. Like if I did something that was so amazing, how am I going to always live up to that? That
Right.
one success doesn't define you, and neither does one failure. I don't like to use that word, but neither does that. That does not define you. So don't let anything confine you. You
Mhm.
are constantly becoming. And if I can live that way when I'm successful, I'm great. And I don't feel like I got to live up to this. I have to live
Mhm.
up to me, being true to me. And hopefully, in that, I can continue to reach the pinnacles. But if we don't define ourselves as success or failure, I think that we are in a good space to
I
understand our
love
self
it.
worth. So that's what I would share.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So we thank you, Laneice, for coming and sharing your story. So much inspiration, so much motivation. I feel like you are doing work for women around the world to just inspire them to love themselves, to care for themselves, and to dream without limitation. So I do want to give the opportunity if anyone wants to reach you or contact you for services or just follow your journey, how can they do that?
Yes, you can find me lanicelees.com, and on there you can connect if you want to connect to the youth program or you want to connect to the women empowerment. I also do a networking. There's other stuff I do. I didn't talk about that networking group once a month, things like that, for
Mhm.
women, focused on women. So anything there you can, or like I do the spiritual journey. If you're like, I want to, get in line with God, my 7 days, we got that going as well. But everything lines up to living that purpose. So laniceleads.com, you can find me there.
Well, thank you so much, Laneice. Well, we thank you for sharing your story. We thank everyone for tuning in again. This is Made to Dream. I'm your host, Maya Chanel, and we'll see you next time.